Hey again. Um, so I'm kind of forcing myself to make this video because I do want to do this and I do want to, reach out to people and everything, but my anxiety is crazy bad and I suck at talking and I get very nervous and weird. And I don't know, I don't know if anybody's going to see this or care or whatever, but I do want to try. So I thought I maybe would tell you a bit about myself and I don't know. the, it's I don't know. I find my life is very boring, so it's hard to really talk about myself because I'm not. I'm very shy. I'm very social in a sense. Like I love. I love. Normally, I love being around people. I used to be. I used to. I mean, it's. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I had. A, I had. I had a lot of really hard shit to deal with in the last few years and everything, and it just broke me. I've always had depression. I know I've always had depression, and I've had ups and downs and everything. I've had really hard times, and I've, gone through really hard situations and everything. But all in all, I've had a fairly decent, safe life. I've never been raped. I've never been beaten. I've never been homeless. I've never been in jail. Not for a long time. Long story. I'm just saying. I've never had anything really horrible happen to me. Well, I have, but just not to me. I have all my. I'm fairly healthy. I think I have my issues with my weight and everything, but aside from that, I've got really bad back problems, which really suck, and I can't stand for a long time, and I can't bend over. I can't just like without pain, like doing dishes, taking garbage out, or big. Like I have to sit to do everything because my back is such a problem, which really sucks ass. And it just makes me feel useless. It makes me feel totally fucking useless. Especially because I have to sit to do everything. And when I'm sitting to do it, I feel like somebody who's like, I have both my arms, I have both my legs, they're both functioning properly, and I still have to sit. And I feel like I'm just sort of, you know, I don't want to say making fun of exactly, but just the people who actually have to sit in wheelchairs and have to can't use their legs and can't use their body parts or whatever. It's like here I am with fully functioning legs and I still get, but I have to remind myself that my back kills and it's just the only way that I can. It helps the pain, but and I just it's sort of it it forces me to step up and to be an adult and to say, okay, I have to get my dishes done, I have to cook, I have to clean, I have to I have a dog I have to take care of. I have a and everything, and I have all these things I have to do, and I have to do them. It's like time to be an adult kind of thing. Pull up the blah, blah, blah. Pull up the big girl panties, whatever. Because this is my anxiety right here. Isn't it fun? So yeah, but I'm saying that that everything I do is just such a struggle, and there are people in the world who have way worse off than I. I'm very lucky. I understand that. I totally know that. Speaking of my dog, he says hi. He's outside. He wants to come in. But I'm just saying that, and I feel so guilty in a sense because I do have a functioning body. I do have my body parts. I do have, like, I've seen it. There was a lady who I saw. She was, I don't know how old she was, but she's probably about maybe early 20s or so. And she had no legs. She had no hands. She had no arms. And she was doing everything with her feet. And the video was of her she was with her little girl. She has a little girl and probably about, I don't know, 3, 4 years. I don't know, but she was very young, and she was doing her daughter's hair with her feet. She combed it out. She put it up in a ponytail. It was very cute. It was very sweet, and it's just mind blowing. And to her, I'm sure it's just I know I'm sure it's very normal, and she's used to it and everything. And I thought, my God, like here I am with both my hands, both my arms, both my legs, and I'm still, but it just and I'm grateful that I have all the things I have for sure, but it just, the negative thoughts just basically take over. They just basically take over, and it's like living in quicksand, trying to escape from quicksand. And every time that I try to do something to help myself, it just kind of goes whack and just pulls you back in, and I have no control over it. I can feel, I literally have no control over it, and it just sucks ass. I have like just I trigger at I can control the triggers to a point. Like, I mean, I have to distract myself a little bit, and I just kind of force the thought away from my mind, and try to do something else or whatever, or try or what just try to get my mind distracted, and that usually helps. But there are times when they don't help, when it doesn't help, and I just break. You know, like I think I mentioned yesterday, like the holidays, and my parents are both gone. Everybody loses their parents. I'm not special at all. But, and most people, I'm sure they think about their parents and maybe they get sad. They may, think of a memory and get sad, maybe have a cry, whatever, and they, move on with life and everything is okay. Me, when I trigger, not every time, but sometimes it does happen where I will be, I'll trigger and I always say that like when a balloon is, someone blows a balloon and it ends up going up in the air and then it's just flying up in the sky, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then a bird comes along and pops it and it just goes, that's me, you know? So, and I can't help it. I literally cannot help it. And it's like living with I always say, it's literally like living with an axe murderer banging at your door, bang, 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 every second of every day. And all you can do, you can't physically do anything, can't call the cops, and you just have to live with it and try to ignore it. And the days when I'm not, laying in bed, bawling my eyes out, or just, shivering, or just feeling like fucking death, are the good days. Today is a decent day. I still, I never have, I never feel happy, but I'm not like crying. I'm not laying in bed crying, and I'm trying to put myself out there and trying to say, just, find other people who feel the same way as me, because it is literally paralyzing sometimes. Like, I mean, in the sense of, like, I feel bad for saying that, because people who are actually paralyzed, I mean, I can physically move, but I heard it, I saw a quote somewhere one time saying that it requires superhuman strength to do the simplest thing, and it's very true. Like, I have to, on bad days, I have to drag my ass everywhere, everything, every time, everywhere. And thinking is really fucking hard, and it's like, it's just because my mind is so tired from pushing all this shit that I don't want to think about away, because it's too painful, because I can't enjoy it at all, which really sucks, you know? And, I just, like I said, just that the negative thoughts just sort of usurp everything. They're almost like it's like my, my, myself, like my normal happy self or whatever, is like being held in jail, and there's this big, huge bodyguard that's just my depression. And anytime any good thought comes to try to say, come on, we're going to rescue you or whatever, or try to, make me feel better, the bodyguard just says, fuck you, and just says, get the fuck away, and just won't listen, and it just won't let it come in. And it sucks. It's horrible, because I can't enjoy anything. The odd time, there have been times where I have been happy. I feel, I literally, like, I actually feel the joy, the excitement, the pleasure, the happiness, everything. I do. But it's very rare and it's very fleeting. It's like a firework, you know? I started to, try to buy things that I had to fill my place with things I love. Like this, for instance. I love spirituality and meditation, and that's beautiful. And I bought that just because I loved it so much, and I wanted to feel connected to the energy and everything. And butterflies, I love my butterflies, purple butterflies especially, you know and so I'm just trying to, those are a couple things that when I got those things in the mail, they actually made me feel like, yay, it was like really exciting, and it was awesome. And I have a few other things, maybe I'll show you some other time if anybody's interested. um and I'm trying to fill my place with things that make me happy, or that give me some kind of joy, or that do something to make me feel better in some way, you know? So, yeah, I'm kind of all over the place here. I always, my ADHD makes me, I always, like, because I go off on, like, it's like sort of like my mind's sort of like a, think of like a, um, branches on a tree, how they all go, like, all over the place. That's me, That's my head, and I'll be talking about one thing, and then that will remind me of something. I'll go, oh, blah, 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 I gotta tell you about this, da, da, da. And then I forget what I was thinking. What was I saying? And what was that? Da, 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 da. And I would say, crazy train. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train, which is basically me. So, I get really Medusa about that too. Medusa is my anxiety. I get really worried about that because I always, I feel like I'm being annoying and I feel like I'm not making any sense. And like like I have an awesome friend who is my neighbor in my town, and he, tries really hard to keep up with me, but it can be really just really tiring to keep up sometimes, and it's hard, and it's embarrassing in a sense because like, I actually when I'll actually have a sort of a good example of that plus when I ended up in bed for a couple of days. I had to call I want to get physiotherapy to try to help my back problems. And I had to call my doctor to arrange to get a referral to the place that I want to do that. And if she had asked me, if the woman I talked to had asked me if the doctor knows about the problem I'm having, and I was trying to explain that I haven't seen the doctor in a couple of years, I don't have a car and I haven't been able to get out there, whatever, but that it's probably in my file, and he probably we would know it's there. It's just he wouldn't know about it. Like he wouldn't, he wouldn't remember, and that turned into it was horrible. And she was like, "Calm down." Just not exactly rude, but just very like almost like annoyed. Like, my God, like calm down. And that was mortifying, absolutely mortifying. And it took everything in me out to break down crying right there and just die. But I got through it. I breathed through it. I pushed through it, and I got through it, and I ended it or whatever. And then I just broke down and I just felt mortified. I mean, she didn't know. She had no idea. There's no, people don't even know when you're in public, like, to visually, you don't see mental health problems. You don't see anxiety. You don't see depression. You just all there's no physical evidence of it, then you can't tell, obviously. And she had no idea. All she knew was is that she couldn't understand what I was saying. And I was talking too fast and I was annoying, I'm sure. But I'm sure that if she had heard knew how she had made me feel, then she would have felt horrible. I would think, but she was just reacting to the situation without knowing. So, now I feel almost like I have to, like, preface the calls that I make with, by the way, I just want to let you know I have really bad anxiety and I speak really quickly and blah 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 blah. So annoying, you know. But yeah. So anyway, I'm going on and on here. I feel like I'm probably, I have no idea if anybody's gonna see this or watch it or care or whatever, but I'm just trying to try. So yeah. Anyway, bye.